This particular unit right here is the original. This is the one Hal invented almost 40 years ago. It's called our Type 1A Model 17 300-pound rated ladder. Now they all work the same way in the sense that they have hinges at the top that adjust the shape from storage to step ladder to straight open as an extension ladder. And they also have lock tabs on the side to adjust in 1-foot increments up and down. Let's show you how that works real easily. Put your palms right on these palm buttons, that's why they're called that. Wrap your fingers around and just squeeze those in. You'll notice they stay open. They stay open until I open the ladder, until it gets to the step ladder, and then they pop straight in. It's fully locked in the step ladder position. Now at this point, I'm going to set this like this. I'm going to pull these lock tabs out on the side. I drop them just below the hole. That way I can pop them right back in very simply. Now from this point, I'm going to grab this palm button that's closest to me with my left hand, and I'm just going to tip it to the side. Now notice what happens with the outer. It slowly goes down. Everywhere there's a hole, I can stop. So this happens to be the last one. I'm going to slide it right over the top and visually make sure those lock in place. Now grab that palm button again, pull it straight back towards you. This is the last hole. Pop it right in, make sure they're locked in. And now I have my full 7-foot high step ladder. Now here's something that Little Giant's known for and the claim to fame, and that's its ability to work on something where the ground is not level. You can pick this side up, set it right on staircases, or drop this down, lock it in here for ramps or sloping ground. But the big one, and probably the one I use the most around my house, is when I need to get up really close to a wall or window. A typical ladder, the higher you go this way, the further from the job you're going to get. So watch what happens. We drop this down 1 notch. It's 90 degrees on this side. You walk up on this side and you're now in those tight, hard to reach spots. Now when you need to get up a little bit higher, just drop this all the way down, release these hinges at the top, grab it about the middle way through here and just pick it straight up. At the same time your left hand is pulling it straight in and they'll lock right in place for you. Again, visually make sure that those hinges are locked. Now when I want to raise this up, I'm going to put my right hand right here because I am right-handed. If you're left, you'll be on the other side. My left hand will be holding this. I'll pick it up and that'll hold in place until I can get down here and grip another one and just continue doing that to the height that I want it. When it gets up to the height, pop those in, make sure they're fully engaged, and now I have a 17-foot model straight up. Now remember, that's 15 feet tip to tip. I can reach 17 foot on this model, but we always make sure the wheels are at the top. Also, when you're bringing it back down, you want to make sure that your feet are on the sides and not underneath the inner, so those don't hit you when they come back down. Bring it to this point, drop it back down, release these lock tabs, and slide it right back up. And I'm right back to where I started. Now the last thing I'm going to show you is the feature that literally cuts your work time in half. The reason why? We're going to split the ladder in half. The inside section, we have the lock tabs released, push in the palm buttons, and take the inside hand over hand until it's all the way out. It has its own rubber feet, locks in place. It's a 4-foot high trestle. Now I'm going to show you this side view. Turn this around. Lock this into place to the one closest to me, and then what you want to do is grab this back brace, and as you pick this brace up first, it aligns the tops so they match up perfectly, and then you adjust that to your trestles. Now remember, you can use one of our telescopic planks or a good 2x12. 1 foot, 2, and 3 is the highest you can go on a Little Giants. The 4-foot, you can put a plank across as a workbench, but we don't recommend you stand at that height. Now, here's the challenge. This has a hinge at the top that keeps it from spreading or closing on you. This one doesn't. So as you go to move these from place to place, you have to worry about these legs coming together. So Little Giant made an accessory 35 years ago called the work platform. It has these fork ears that go right in between here, fold straight down. So now when I go to move this trestle, I don't have to worry about it coming apart. Now when you get ready to put this back together, let me show you 2 ways. One, if you're used to working with Little Giants, and one if you're not. First way is I take this back together, slide it right down the middle, and let that go all the way down. Now let me show you the easiest way to do it. When this is set apart like this, I'll take one of these sections. You can lean it against a wall. I'll lean it against myself on this. Tip the ladder on its side, and then just slide it right up that way. Do the exact same thing on this side. Slide that right on up. Lock these back in place. And we're right back to where we started. Now, I did show you the work platform, and it is considered the best accessory ever made for a ladder, and I'm going to show you why. Sometimes you're having to balance on rungs, so what we do is we design this to hold 375 pounds. Now, the easiest way to remember how to put this on the ladder is consider it like a big mouth, and you're going to bite the rung that you want to step on. So if I want to be on this rung right here, I'll set this down below, and I'm right there. Now push this forward to get it out of your way, and then climb right on up through it. Step right on top of this, and go to the rung above it. Once you're above that, just push this straight back with your toe, step right on top. This is the most comfortable way you'll ever stand on a ladder again. The reason why is my feet are on something nice and secure, but I want you to notice where the direction of your body is. I'm facing the job, now I have two hands to get it done. When you're done, climb back up here, push this back in with your toe, and use it as a step to walk straight down through. This will fit on top, but remember, it's only designed for paint, tools, and equipment up on top. The highest you can use this on any of our ladders is 3 rungs down, so you'd be right here at the 3rd rung from the top. Now, where do you put that when you're all finished? Well, it's been designed to fit right inside the ladder itself. And the way we do that is we grab it by the handle here, and this tiny little lip will fit on the 2nd rung on the bottom. Put it in there like this, close it on up, it locks right in place, and that's how you'll store and transport. This is probably the easiest you'll ever carry a 17-foot ladder inside of a house. Now remember, we make this in a Type 1A, which this model is. It's a 300-pound rated ladder. We make it in a 1AA, which is 375 pounds, and we also make it in a Type 1, 250 pounds. We're really proud of our little giants, and we hope you enjoy working with them.
In the final section of this presentation, we're going to take a look at some do's and don'ts of ladder safety. Let's assume you've chosen the right ladder, adjusted the height or configuration if necessary, inspected it for any mechanical problems, and now you're ready to get to work. Check for overhead clearance and ensure there are no live electrical wires. Wear shoes with clean, non-skid soles. Set the ladder on a firm, level surface so it won't shift or sway. Never place it on slippery surfaces. On soft ground, use a board at least 6 inches wide under the legs to keep them from sinking. Extension ladders must be placed so that they lean at a 75-degree angle. If a steeper angle is used, the ladder may tip back when you climb on it. And if the ladder is placed too far out, the feet may slip out. An easy way to determine the right slope is to use a 4-to-1 ratio between the length of the ladder and the setback of the base. For example, a 12-foot ladder must be set back 3 feet to be safe. Both rails of an extension ladder must be fully supported with at least 18 inches of extra space on either side. Extension ladders have a front side and back side and should never be climbed from the back side. Keep your body centered on the ladder while working and leave one hand on the ladder whenever possible. As a general rule, keep your belt buckle between the rails to prevent losing your balance and never overreach. Always get off and move the ladder whenever necessary. Tying off the ladder at the top or staking the legs can offer a higher level of protection when the ladder will be in one place for some time. A-frame ladders must be in the fully open position with the hinges and lock assemblies firmly secured. Always face the ladder when you climb, and never jump off a ladder or skip any rungs. Never position a ladder in front of a door or where it could get easily bumped. Haul heavy tools and materials up on a line instead of trying to carry them up the ladder. Never allow more than one person on an extension ladder. 2 people may climb on opposite sides of a little giant A-frame ladder as long as the weight capacity is not exceeded. Don't climb a closed A-frame ladder. Don't leave a ladder unattended. And finally, always use common sense when working with ladders. False security can lead to carelessness, which can cause serious injuries. It's important to keep in mind that the person ultimately responsible for your safety is you. Even the safest ladder can be dangerous when proper precautions aren't taken in its use.